This is the brand new Multipick Elite G Pro Dimple Lock Pick Kit. Brand new on the market, and I have been waiting a month to do this review. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so what do we get for $191? Well, before we get to that, I can't tell you how many locks I picked in the last month with this thing, but I can't resist doing one more. This just came in, so timing is everything. A subscriber with the unfortunate username of MF sent this in as a 1913 ESPD. He was stationed overseas, and he saw kind of a weird master lock. So Dimple Kit, Dimple Lock, this is what I'm going to try to do a hands-on demo with. It is an 8-pin lock, almost like a Cabba 8, except not that complex. There are no pins along the top, just the 8 along the sides. It is a wide-open keyway, just like a Cabba 8. And this lock works beautifully. Very slight spring tension, so I've got a pretty good chance of getting into this thing. If not, I'll pitch it aside and we'll just continue with the review. All right, one of the things I really like about this kit are the dedicated tensioners. These are very much like the typical Z-wrenches, except Multipick spent a little more time on the fit and finish. Just absolutely beautiful stainless steel. We have two here that measure 1.2 millimeter or 50 thousandths in thickness. One is the number BMS 10, which has kind of a tapered tip to fit into different keyways, and then the number 8 here has a non-tapered keyway. This is a very wide keyway, so I kind of grabbed this guy. A little bit thicker, this is the BMS 09. He measures 60 thousandths of an inch thick, or 1.5 millimeter. You want your tensioner to fit into the keyway as tightly as you can, and this is very, very close to being perfect. All right, I did have a chance to glance at that keyway before, so I went ahead and pulled out the flat flag. We'll take a closer look at these picks, provided I survive this picking. So I'm going to apply heavy tension. I'm going to try to pick, we'll call this the bottom, that will be the top. I'm going to try to pick the bottom first. So heavy tension, see if we can find a binder. Pin 1, pin 2, that was pin 3. I got a very slight turn on the core. Come back and check everybody on the bottom, and they seem okay. I'm going to relocate my pick to the bottom left corner and try to pick the top now. Well, these are springy. And it's the last one, pin 4. Nice click on him. And there we go, pin 3. And we got an open. All right, there you go. MF, I got your Master Lock 1913 open using these great picks. Let's talk about them. I am very impressed with the quality of these. They are quite pricey at $191 a set, but like anything in life, you get what you pay for. Buy once, cry once when you buy quality. Take a look at this. These are solid aluminum handles. You notice it's not just a straight shaft. There are curves designed to fit your hand. You probably saw me picking, holding it like this. These two fingers and these two low areas that hold, they actually cut grooves inside of this solid aluminum shaft, and then they put O-rings in there to give you a lot of friction. So you got two fingers over here, one on each side of that hump right there, and then of course your thumb is on this side. That allows you to very precisely control the rotation of the pick. These are just beautifully done. When we take a look at these, again, I really hope the camera does it justice. On the top of this, and again, notice the orientation. The flag is to the right, and then we have the Multipick owner's crest right there on the top to help you stay indexed. If you can't see that very well, you can always reach under and feel. On the opposite side of that crest is an inset Allen screw that holds the tip in, and we'll talk more about that in just a moment, but it always helps you get an idea of exactly which way that tip is pointing if you get stuck in a keyway. As we continue to go back on here, you have the Multipick logo laser etched into the shaft. Obviously German quality. And when we get to the very back, and I really hope this shows up, like all of their picks, it tells you the models. We have the Elite G Pro, and this is tip or pick number, I believe that says 5. Hard to tell through the camera. And then on the bottom, right below it, And again, the G set, and then there's the serial number of this particular handle. Each handle has a unique serial number. Talk about precision. Okay, we've already taken a look at the shaft. Let's look at the very end here. You notice a very tight fit on that shaft. There is absolutely no play in this thing at all. Very solid lockup between that shaft, and you'll see why in just a moment. And that Allen screw holds it in very solid. So any vibration or feedback transfers down that shaft very well. All the tips just super finished, guys, and I would expect it at this price point. I didn't have to do work on a single one of these tips. By the way, the reason these tips are replaceable, if I broke a couple of tips, I would not have to want to pay $191. So if you break one tip or you break all your tips, you can get a complete set of tips replaced for $14. So somebody at Multipick in their engineering department was thinking about logistics and repair costs. Okay, what do we have? Well, I'm going to put him right here, and I'm not going to push him all the way in because we're going to consider that to be our hinge point. On the left side are what I call left flags, and these are simply flags with varying, if I get some cooperation here, varying degrees of wire thickness and also curvature. So if you run into a lock that has deep warding that you have to get over and just roll your pick right over it. Again, these are all beautifully polished, probably hand done. So you have 4 left flags, then of course our hinge, which is our flat flag, and then on the right we have 4 right flags. Let's grab one of these guys. Again, these are mirror images of exactly what you have on the other side, except it's designed to pick from the left side of the keyway to pick pins that are on the right side. Now you notice we have 5 picks on this side, so we have 4 left, we have 4 right, and then we have this guy. He's actually a right flag, but take a look at how thin that wire is. Let me get one to compare it to. This is just a super thin wire on the left side and a tiny little pick head. And what that's designed for is that really rare tiny keyway when you have to actually get way down deep inside of one of the crevices between some tight piece of warding. This would be an excellent choice. He is a very slight right flag, but it's so slight you could probably use him in either direction. All right, let's take a look now at the tip. We got a tiny little Allen screw. Let's see what happens when you pull him out. Now here's the Allen screw. Notice I wasn't just flying around inside of the case. They put some thought into this. Inside of this last chamber, they've got a piece of very dense foam. So the pick or the Allen screw jabs down inside of that, and he is not coming loose. You're not going to lose him. So again, somebody was thinking. So what we're going to do, just see if I can do this to the camera, loosen him up. And you got to pull him out almost all the way because it's a really deep groove inside of the pick tip. Now, notice right away, all the picks start out as a thick piece of wire, then they narrow them all down and put the tip on them. That thick piece of wire fits tightly. It's identical for all of these. So that way they're interchangeable with any of the handles. It doesn't matter which one you try to put it in, they all fit interchangeable. Also notice there's a cutout there, and that's so the Allen screw, when you slide it in there, can line up with that cutout. Line your flag and tighten up that little Allen screw. When you get them tight, and that's just finger tight, no way that is going to turn. So you always know which way that tip points, either by looking at the Allen screw or by looking at the owner's family crest right here on top, and you can see which way that's pointing. It often happens you get stuck into a keyway, and the only way you know which way that head is before you start yanking them out is if you take a look and get re-indexed. Very cool. All right, guys, $191 is a lot of money, but I firmly believe it is absolutely worth it. This is the finest quality, the most German-like craftsmanship I think I've ever seen on any lockpicks anywhere. They put an awful lot of thought into this. These are very durable, solid aluminum. They're going to last you a very long time. Everything on here, to include the O-rings, is designed to be replaced when and if it ever wears out. These are just great. They will last you a lifetime. You pay once, you cry once whenever you're dealing with quality. Anyway, guys, this is the Multipick Elite G Pro Dimple Lock Pick Kit. I'm going to buy one. I absolutely have to own one of these things. I have a weakness for quality stuff. Yes, I'm a fanboy, but I'm a fanboy of quality stuff. I am going to give this one away, though. You guys paid for it, so I'm going to give it away. You want to win it? There is the website. Go to that website. In the middle of the page is a purple band that says Weekend Giveaway. Click it, register. With a little bit of luck, next week you will be an incredibly lucky subscriber to win this kit. This is an absolutely fantastic kit. Appreciate your time, guys. Stay safe. Stay legal. MF, thank you for sending in this 1913. Thanks, guys. If you like the idea of growing the Locksport community, please consider supporting the Lock Lab by either becoming a Patreon or clicking the join button below.